After 10 years, we were entering the happiest period of our lives. Trust and love for each other were the cornerstones of this long relationship. However, in the last 6 months, everything changed as my fiancée started her new job. Small red flags began to appear. At first, I didn't pay much attention to them. Every relationship has its ups and downs, but then suddenly and unexpectedly, my life turned upside down when she returned from that beach vacation. Just a few weeks later, I found out she was pregnant. In an instant, I lost control of my life trying to understand who had impregnated her and what had happened. Before I dive into my story, if you don't want your life to be turned upside down like mine, subscribe to my channel to learn real lessons from the real stories we share every day, just like mine. Also, share your thoughts about the shocking truths I've experienced in the comments, and please show your support by liking my video. Now that you've subscribed, let's dive into my story. My fiancée and I were planning to start a family after a 4-year engagement in a 10-year relationship. She had completed her education and started her new job. Initially, everything seemed fine. However, she soon began making new friends and staying out late, sometimes not coming home until morning. She would occasionally spend the night at her sister's house during the first 6 months of her new job. I began noticing changes in her behavior. Long nights with new friends, coming home in the early morning and sometimes not coming home at all. It made me uneasy. I didn't question her because the trust between us remained intact. However, everything changed quickly after that beach trip when she returned from the vacation. I noticed a change in her eyes. I felt something was wrong, but I couldn't quite understand what it was. One evening, I asked her about the frequent late nights.
It's just work and new friends. Nothing to worry about,
she said with a forced smile. She told me about her trip to the beach with her new friends, but little did I know that she had met a man there. One night they went to a bar, had drinks, and ended up having an affair. When she returned from the trip, she was distant and uneasy, something I couldn't ignore. The day after she returned, she told me she needed to reevaluate our relationship and needed some time.
I just need to clear my head,
she said, avoiding eye contact. An alarm bell rang inside me while trying to understand what was happening. She decided to stay with her sister for a few days. This unexpected decision increased my suspicions even more. I tried to persuade her to come back and solve this problem together, but she was determined. She left, and I was left to wonder what had gone wrong. After a few days, she came back and said she wanted to work things out. We talked about our dreams of starting a family, and she proposed getting back together.
Let's put all this behind us and focus on our future,
she suggested. This slightly eased my suspicion. However, when she said she was pregnant, I was both happy and filled with questions. The changes in the past months and her staying out late at night constantly ran through my mind. Thus, I requested a paternity test to quell my uneasiness. She was upset and angry, but eventually agreed.
How could you even think that?
She snapped, but eventually she saw my perspective. This request angered her and led to an argument. However, she eventually accepted, and this acceptance completely changed the course of our relationship. That night, she confessed to having an affair with a man she met at the beach and that the child was most likely his.
I'm sorry, but it's true.
Tears streaming down her face. This confession shattered my heart and turned my world upside down. I couldn't sleep that night, thinking and deciding what to do next. By the way, 95% of our viewers are not subscribed to our channel. Support us by subscribing. Now let's continue. Over the next few days, she tried to explain herself.
It was a mistake. I was confused and lost in the moment.
But her words felt hollow, and the trust that had been the foundation of our relationship was now completely eroded. I asked her why she hadn't told me earlier.
I was scared. I didn't want to lose you.
Her reasoning only made me feel more betrayed. One evening, as we sat silently at the dinner table, I noticed her glancing at her phone repeatedly. When I asked her about it, she hesitated.
It's just a message from work,
she replied quickly, but I could see the anxiety in her eyes. I couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to the story. that maybe this affair wasn't just a one-time mistake. My mind raced with possibilities, each one more painful than the last. The following week, I insisted on meeting this man. I need to know who he is, I told her. She was reluctant but finally agreed. We arranged to meet at a neutral location, a quiet cafe downtown. When he arrived, he looked nervous, shifting uncomfortably in his seat. I asked him how it happened. We were both drunk. He said it just happened. His words did nothing to soothe my anger. My fiancée admitted she was pregnant with the child of the man she met at the beach who did not want the child.
He doesn't want anything to do with this,
She said quietly. She mentioned having an appointment for an abortion the next day. I was shocked and heartbroken. I took her to her appointment and then decided to end our relationship. I moved out of our apartment and returned to my parents' home. I packed my belongings and severed all ties with her. I even canceled our insurance policy. I had no more communication with her. I started a new chapter in my life, going to the gym, engaging in my hobbies, and spending time with my friends. Looking back, I realized how much I had been limiting myself. Now I am enjoying my freedom and am curious about what the future holds. The most important lesson I learned from this process was self-confidence and independence. Despite going through a tough period, I am now hopeful for the future and aim to live my life to the fullest. Life can change in an instant, often in ways we never expect. While we can't control everything, we can choose how we respond. Trust in yourself, value your independence, and remember that every challenge is an opportunity for growth. Embrace the lessons learned and move forward with confidence and hope. Your future is yours to shape. If my story resonated with you, share your thoughts in the comments, like, and subscribe for more real-life lessons. Your support means the world to me.